Hello and welcome in. Welcome to Lewis Acre Farm and Meet Me Monday. I am so very excited to have you here. Oops, hold on. Forgot to forgot to mute my phone. It has been one of those mornings for me. There we go. That's tended to. Now we won't have feedback. Oh, I truly am happy to have everybody here today. We are going to have a good time today. We are meeting a creator that is truly unique in her channel, in her craft. It is something that I have never seen before. And I think that you will be as intrigued as I am by what she does. So I just want to welcome to the stage Andy with CraftyWitch232. I got to get the 232 on there because you may not get the right channel if you don't put that in the name of the
right. Yes.
Hello and welcome.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I do want to let everybody know that I went to the dentist, so I have an Elvis lip going on because it's still a little numb. So if you see something weird, it's because it's still numb.
Not a problem.
So how's your day going so far?
It is. It's a little bit scattered for me today. So before we get started too far, I just want to welcome in our chat. And as time goes on, we'll stop and welcome the people who pop in later on in the show. Jason P., you are new to my channel. I want to welcome you in. And thank you so much for coming and being here with us today. I do see that we have more people here and lurking in the shadows, and that is perfectly fine. We welcome you. And if at any point you would like to jump in and chat with us, we would welcome that as well. Those who choose to stay in the background, that's perfectly fine. I understand there's a lot of times where I go to other people's channels and I don't have the time to chat, or I'm busy and I use it more as a podcast. Sometimes I listen while I drive. And so that's fine too.
I did want to say, yes, Jason P. is my husband, if anybody does not know.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome.
Yes.
I'm glad to meet you. We do have Rudy Fern with autism here. Thank you so much for being here, Rudy.
Hi, Rudy.
Let's see. Interesting question from Rudy. Do you prefer to count from 0 to 99 or 0 to 100? My personal preference, I don't really have one, but I typically would go from 0 to 100.
I think me too.
So, very interesting question. It is 1:04 here in Mountain Time. And so I would like to state before we get started that I typically hold questions until the last 15 to 20 minutes of our interview. Ronson, welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm very happy that you're able to make it. Ronson is my administrative admin and my amazing son, if I do say so myself.
Hi, Watson.
And he does an amazing job of helping me keep my channel going in the background, doing lots of little things that I don't know how to do, or I'm not good at doing or I don't think about doing. So he is really, really good at that. So
Yes.
anyway, so Andy, when did you first, I know a lot of people get on YouTube just to watch videos,
Right.
but when did you first decide, I could do that? I'm going to start a channel.
I think it was probably about, was it like 5 months ago? Somebody wanted me to do a tutorial of putting one of my stuffed animals together on TikTok, and I didn't know how to use TikTok. So I put one of the videos together and somebody wanted me to upload it to YouTube, and that's how it all started.
So you've only been doing this for 5 months.
Yeah, so only a few months. Yeah, I first started just uploading a few little shorts about how it, how I just put my little stuffed animals together. That was it.
Wow. And how many
Yeah.
subscribers do you have?
I think I have 600, I don't remember, like 630 or something like that. Yeah. So
Wow.
it's growing.
You are just exploding very, very rapidly, I might say.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. We have a lot of fun with it. And I like to do all kinds of different things. So,
Mhm.
and I love to do trivia in it as well. So we have a lot of fun just crafting and chatting and doing trivia. That's pretty much all it is. Just a little fun little like chat time, like if you were to go to a sewing circle or something, like they used to have back in the
Right.
day. So
Yeah. Oh, that is so awesome. I am so happy for you that you've grown so quickly.
yeah,
That's
me too.
awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to do is I want to do a crafting day once a week where anybody could come in and we could just craft together. It'd be so much fun. Just like that type of crafty connection like that you can
Yeah,
get, like Mary's always talking about connection. I just want to do it where everybody can just hang out and show each other what different types of art they do. Yeah.
absolutely. Oh, that would be so fun.
Yeah, whatever your inspiration is, whatever your style is, you can show it to others and give that inspiration to somebody else. That's just
Absolutely.
it's just the best type of therapy, I think.
It really is. Absolutely.
Yes.
I know I have several different little crafts that I do when I have time and when I'm not being surrounded by cats, which I
Oh, right.
absolutely love. I guess that right now is my hobby, that and gardening. But I do felt crafts.
Oh, yes.
We were cleaning up here at the house. I had Ronson and his staff over on Friday, and we did some cleaning. Those who don't know, I am disabled, and there's a lot of things I can't do.
Right.
But so I have to have some help. But while we were cleaning, we found an old craft that we used to do with my mom, Ronson, and myself. And this is one of the things that we used to make.
I love
These
it. Yes.
just little, and it's a little ornament.
Yes.
We used to make these and hand them out. And I think this is one that my mom actually made. Um, and it's just a double layer piece of felt that's been embroidered with a little band glued on to the top. Super, super simple. And it has a little pocket where you could stuff candy canes or whatever, or you could
Whatever you
fill it and then
want.
stitch
Yeah.
it shut or whatever you wanted to do. So we do felt projects, and I have lots of other little crafty projects like acrylic painting and such. But
Yes.
being able to share that with somebody else, it just, the camaraderie, even if you don't ever speak while you're doing it, just being together is, it's healing.
It's healing. It's cathartic. It's very satisfying.
It
It's
is.
just good for your soul.
It
All of
is.
that. Yes.
And time can just absolutely escape you.
Yes. And
So,
that's how I feel all the time. And there's nothing like one of the ways I got started is by making gifts and giving them to people and seeing the expression. There's nothing like giving handmade gifts to people. It doesn't matter what it is, just the feeling that you get and the expressions that they get. And it just is, there's nothing like it. So,
doing crafts is so, it's probably one of the least selfish things that you could do, one of the least selfish hobbies you can have.
right.
Because when you do a craft, you look at it as you're working it thinking, oh my goodness, so-and-so would absolutely love this.
Yes.
You're not thinking, well, I'm doing this for myself. Yes, you are doing it for yourself while you're doing it, but you're doing it with somebody else in mind.
Exactly. And you could tailor it to that person.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're doing a pattern from a book, you can make it special to whoever you have it in mind for. So, I mean, it gives it that extra touch of, love. So,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
uniqueness.
The handmade gift is treasured so much more than a store-bought gift.
Exactly. Yes. And that's the one thing, like when I do craft shows and stuff, people will walk by and they stop and they're like, oh my God, like, I need this. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And, it gives you that like rush of like, oh, it was worth it.
Right, right. To
All
see
the
the
work.
joy, to see the joy
Exactly.
on somebody else's face is worth so much more. A handmade gift, especially what you do and what others do with crochet and knit and quilting, things like that,
Yes.
painting, you can never get out of it financially what you've put into it in
Right.
finances and time.
Exactly.
You'll
And a
never
lot of
get
people, don't do it to get the monetary gain that you would. I mean, because if you were to do that, just, mass produce it, you know what I mean? They
right,
do it for a healing or they do it for therapy. So they're not looking to make the most value from it. They're doing it for
right.
other reasons. So,
Let's see, we had a couple more people show up.
oh,
Little, okay. Elfish Tanks, welcome in. I'm
hi,
so
Elle.
glad you're here. And just Jason, Keto, and more. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that you're here. I got to talk to you, Jason, because I'm getting hooked on those chaffles. I
I
came
know,
up with
right?
a couple of different ways of making them, and they were really, really good. I'll just say that. um, okay, I don't see anybody else, but so you've been doing this for 5 months, and let's see. So tell me a little bit about you. A little bit about you, your family, maybe some of your hobbies. Other, other than what you do, because I want to save that for a little bit later. I want to kind of like a grand reveal about what you do.
So I've I've been dealing with a lot of medical problems for about 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get to do much around the house. Um, but I started gardening. I do enjoy that as well. That's why I enjoy watching, a lot of the gardening channels like Karma. What else? I'm trying to think of what else. I enjoy crime shows.
Okay.
I like to watch a lot of true crime. I've been into that since I was younger. I read books. I like comic books and
Oh,
superheroes. Yeah.
okay. That superhero theme kind of comes out in your channel.
Yeah, a little bit, yes. Um, my favorite characters are I like Batman and Deadpool.
Okay.
What else? Oh, I'm a cancer survivor.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
yeah,
Do you
so
want to talk about that at all?
I could talk about it. Yeah, I had blood cancer, so Hodgkin's lymphoma back in 2016, and I am officially cured. So I no longer have to worry about that at all. So it's
Praise
been eight
God.
years now. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. I also I have fibromyalgia as well, so I'm part of the fibro warriors. There,
We're
you
warriors.
gotta stick
I'm a
together.
fibro warrior too.
Yep. Yeah, that's a constant thing, but hey, you gotta do what you can, right?
Absolutely.
But that's one thing that I think pushes me on because I am a cancer survivor. So every day I look at it differently, even though I deal with the other stuff because I am a survivor of cancer. So I always try to go with a positive vibe and think of every day as a gift. And
As it is.
yeah, because that's the one thing my oncologist told me. If I didn't do treatment, I wouldn't be here. So I'm like, well, that's true. So, you got to look at the positive in everything. That's one thing that unfortunately me and my husband, we lost about 15 people in 5 years, really close in our family.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, it hurt a lot, but we have to keep going, and there's things that we get to do together and be together and my crafts and things like that, things that we can do to keep persevering and keep going through it.
Right.
I was a caregiver for my grandparents, and they both have passed now, so now I just
Right.
garden, and I try to find things to do every year, like with my me and my mom. Every year we try to find something that we don't know how to do to help self-sustain. So like this year we're going to learn how to make our own soap. you know
Fun.
so every year we try to do something we didn't know how to do. So last year I learned how to grow my own herbs and dry them and make my own tea. So things like that.
Awesome.
So I always try to look for something that I should know how to do, that I don't know how to do. so
Right.
so fun
Right.
stuff. Yeah. So
I love your attitude. It's the only way to live. It truly is.
I mean, it is. And if you give out positivity, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get positivity back. That's one thing I learned. I used to be a loss prevention manager for a while. And I'll
Uh-huh.
tell you, 9 times out of 10, you can smile at somebody. Even if they're mad at you, they're going to smile right back. So just, do the best to just be positive, and that's what you're going to get.
Right.
Yeah.
That truly is the best way. So, such a
It
wonderful
is.
attitude and way to live. I like
Right.
that. Thank you for sharing that part of your story.
Well,
I
thank
think
you.
that there's a lot of people who can learn from that.
Oh, I hope so. And that's one thing that I try to tell. There's always a way up. You just got to reach for it. Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, do you have any other hobbies besides the craft that you do? Um,
Well, I collect things. I'm kind of holding down on it. Like I said, I collect a lot of comic books.
mhm.
Um, I my sister, she has passed a few years ago now, but she was a photographer, so I'm going back into photography, and I'm taking her camera and I'm learning to do
Oh,
more of that.
Oh, that's sweet.
What else am I trying? I like to dabble in kind of everything. I just like to learn things and try things out. And if it's not for me, then it's not for me, but
Right.
uh
You just
I
like to explore a little of everything.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right now I'm learning to design my own 3D prints, things like that. So I just like to try things. It's fun. So
Very cool. And what about your family?
so my family, we're just all pretty much homebodies. Right now I have three brothers and my mom still. And me and my mom like to go to we like to go to like craft fairs, and we like to go to like the food festivals, things like that. So we have this one planned. It's a chocolate and cheese event coming up that we're kind of excited to go to. I'm like, I want to try
Fun.
that.
We have a chocolate thing that happens here locally. I think we've already missed it, actually. I think it happens over the winter sometime. And I've always wanted to go to it, but I've never been able to go. But I hear it's pretty amazing. The tickets are just so expensive.
A lot of times they are, yes. Well, and that's the other thing. We like to go to like baseball games. I love baseball. Baseball and hockey are the two things that I enjoy to watch. And I know it's weird. Everybody always says baseball is boring, but I love watching baseball. I don't know what it is. It's very exciting to me. So.
You know, in college, I used to spend every free moment from class watching baseball. And now, yeah, I mean, if I could go to the game, I would enjoy it. But to sit and watch it, no, I don't think so. The same with basketball. If I can be there and watch basketball, fine. But to sit and watch it on TV, no, thank you.
I got
Give me
you.
a good football game, as long as it's college. Give me a good football game or high school.
Right.
Great. I'll watch it every chance I get. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I love watching the Olympics when they come around. So I'm kind of excited. We're trying to see if we can maybe get down, because I love like the figure skating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so every year I'm like, no, we have to watch all the figure skating, and we have to watch the gymnastics when it comes around, things like that. Those are very fascinating to me, because I only played volleyball and ran track. So,
Right.
those other type of things, those are very
I
cool.
think that you're a fair bit younger than me, but do you know who Dorothy Hamill?
Yes.
Okay. So you know the traditional Dorothy Hamill haircut?
Yes.
Back when I was a little girl, she was on center stage of figure skating, and every little girl had to have a Dorothy Hamill haircut, and I was one of them. I wanted my hair like Dorothy Hamill.
That
So
is great. I love that so much.
yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So do you have any children?
I don't have any children, but I have many, many nieces and nephews and
That's
3 fur
awesome.
babies.
Well, then you have children. Fur
Yes,
babies can be more of a handful than actual children.
they are. They're being good right now, but I don't want to jinx it. Let me knock on some wood. Okay.
That's awesome. So, what state are you in?
I'm in Colorado.
Colorado. Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's a beautiful state. I've been through there a few
Oh,
times.
it is. Yeah. As I was driving today, the mountains are all snow peaked. They're so beautiful.
Yeah. I
So
think one of
beautiful.
the little towns that I remember passing through that I thought was absolutely the most gorgeous towns was Silverton.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That was just so gorgeous. I absolutely loved it. Went through there several times, actually, because I went to college in New Mexico and we had to
Oh,
drive
okay.
through there to get
Yeah.
down to go where I was headed. And it was so beautiful, both winter and spring, and
all of it.
I mean, it doesn't matter when you pass through Silverton. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Colorado. You get all 4 seasons in one day, and it doesn't matter. You could take a picture every couple hours, and you're going to get a different view.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share about you personally or your family or?
Let's see here. I'm going to say I'm not as interesting. I just, like I said, I just craft. That's pretty much my whole thing. That's pretty much what I do. And
What's wrong with
me,
that?
yeah, me and my hubby have been together for a very long time. We're high school sweethearts, so we've been together
Same
for
with
a
me and my
long
husband.
time. Yeah,
But
it's
we got
amazing.
together later in life, but
Aw,
we were high school sweethearts also.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
So, but then, yeah, that's about it. That's me. I'm pretty easy.
That's awesome. So now transitioning to your channel, how did you come up with the name for your channel?
So I like to craft, and since I make things turn, it's like magic for me, you know? So I do like, playing with herbs and, growing things in the garden and,
Mm-hmm.
making things in the kitchen. So it all kind of ties together for me. So the name felt very fitting. And plus, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. So
Okay.
it goes hand in hand.
Okay. And then the 232?
Just lucky numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't add the 232 until after Kevin from Tuber Chat couldn't find me. So I added it to make it
Oh,
easier for him to find me.
okay. That makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So now the grand reveal is, what do you do exactly? This is so awesome. I love it.
So one of the main things I've been doing lately is crocheting. I make my own patterns. I crochet dolls. I haven't done bags in a while, but I've crocheted bags. I do 3D printed stuff, and I'm making a line of designing my own 3D printed items. It could be anything. But I also I collaborate with a lot of designers who work on making 3D printed items that look like crochet, but they're not.
That's the thing that
Yeah.
I absolutely love. The
Yeah.
fact that they look like they're actually amigurumi crocheted items, but then I know if you were to go and touch it, it would be hard plastic.
Oh yeah, and to see people's faces when they come to the fairs and they go to touch it and they're like, "Oh wait, it's plastic." I'm like, "Yep."
That just floors me. I don't know anybody else who does this, and it
Right.
is absolutely stunning. Do you have an example that you can show us?
Oh, I have one. He's missing a nose, but I have an idea, like an example here that I can show you. So this is a bluey.
He is so cute. You guys, that is hard plastic. It is 3D printed, but doesn't that look crocheted? It
Right.
looks as soft and as squishy and cuddly as can be.
And it is so awesome to work on that. And I'm working on something to where I don't know if I want to spoil it yet, but I'm working on something to add to my actual plushies. That's all I'll say.
Well, I'm going to have to be watching to see this.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to say it yet. I don't want to put it out there in the ether yet.
What is so cool when I watch your videos and you're building these creatures, to watch you put them together, it is so fascinating to see them come to life.
Oh, and I love that. Yeah. So the lady who designs like the buildable ones, she's in England and she is really cool. I'm going to say her name on here. It's Nara, Naraa. And she has the best style that goes for the bigger style plushies.
Uh-huh.
And I love her style so much. And the fact that you can print them all separate was the big draw I had to her, because I was like, you know, just to be able to build it in pieces was the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's like building your own plushie doll. You know what I
So
mean?
she has kits?
Well, you would print each piece separately,
Okay.
and then you would have to like glue it together, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just printing it one file at a time, you know, where it
Right.
switches the colors. Because now they have printers where you can plug in 4 colors and it will just switch colors for each layer and goes
Okay.
all the way up. So,
Wouldn't that be so cool, though, if you could print the pieces and sell it as a kit?
oh yeah. And then, you know, that's something that me and my friend had talked about a lot. We're like, yeah, we'll just print it and sell it as a kit. And then we'll, you know, link the video so that they can see how to put it together.
You,
Yeah.
you'd make a killing on that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what little kid who loves Legos and loves stuffies
Exactly.
wouldn't want to build their own Pikachu or Charizard
Yep.
or um,
Yeah.
Deadpool
Whoever,
or
right?
Peanuts
Yes.
character or any number of character that's popular with the kids or adult.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
son is really into Destiny and
Oh yeah.
several other video games, and he loves Pokemon. I mean, he's been with Pokemon since it came out.
Oh, Pokemon is a huge fan base. So, I mean, and they have
Exactly.
hundreds of characters. So, I mean, it's like endless options.
I mean, if you could come up with a kit for all those different, I mean, you couldn't keep them in stock.
Exactly. Yeah. And see, that's the fun thing, is that because of the 3D printing, it's like endless options. As long as you can design it and
Mhm.
print it, it's good to go. So that's the fun thing about, I mean, it's just kind of the same way when you crochet it though. As long
It
as you can
is.
crochet it, it's the same. It's just the dexterity it takes to crochet is different than being able to design it on a computer. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I'm so fascinated by the 3D printers, because it can do a little bit more of the mass producing that I can't. And then I can stay with a few unique crochet dolls, as opposed to, you know, having, I like to keep them different. So I have hundreds of patterns I wrote down for my crochet dolls, but every time I make them, I try to make them different. So they're never the same, so that you
Right.
can still have a unique one if you buy it from me. You know,
Yeah.
so there's always something different. So nobody has the same one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really quick, let me just greet a couple of people who've snuck in here.
Ah,
Pete, I'm so glad you're here.
hi,
Scratching
Pete.
PTA. And we
Oh, 1 second.
have Lady Crochet, Manuela. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for the sub. That's very, very much appreciated. So, I'm not sure if I've missed anybody. I do apologize. It's not intentional. So, what was it that um, prompted you to start 3D printing your crochet?
So it was one of, I'm trying to, so there was this one guy in India I stumbled across one that he did of a Deadpool that I fell in love with. And then, so I was messaging him back and forth, and we were talking, and I gave him a few suggestions that I thought would make good ones. And then we were talking, and then, so I took him to a few shows, and people fell in love with them. So, just connecting and talking and like testing them out, see what the response was, see what people thought of them, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been testing them for, about 6 months now through the season, the winter season of the shows, and they were really well received. The big show was the Comic-Con that we did over, the winter show, and everybody loved them. So now that, I took a little time, now I can kind of see there's a few different styles, which styles sold better. Now I can kind of like incorporate in how I want to make my design and how I want it to be, different from everybody's, and, what characters I want to do. I like to do horror characters. I like to do not mainstream as well, but I want to make my own like seasonal line of my logo, my dragon. So I want him to, to make a holiday version of him for each holiday. So that, you get a Christmas version, you get an Easter version, get a Valentine's Day version, stuff like that. But his name is going to be Bob. And if anybody follows my channel, they know that I name everything Bob. It's a running joke. So yes, Bob is going to be his name. So, but I want to incorporate, what I've learned, because I like to test things out. Like I think I said earlier, I'll run with something and I want to make sure it does good, and then there's also something else I'm testing out which has worked really well, so I'll do that as well, where it's another mix with crochet items, which was fun. So I think I want to be different. I want to stand out. I want to mix things together that people don't normally see, but I want it to be like a new concept. So I always like to do research to make sure that it's not something that's out there.
Right.
It's like a new concept. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and I think that's one reason why you have grown so rapidly, is that you have something that not everybody has. Not everybody has already seen it. It's like gardening.
Right.
A lot of people garden. How many different ways are there to garden? Well, there's a few.
There's a few.
Still, there's a lot of gardening channels out there.
There is.
Really quick, Kendra, welcome in, and you're
hi,
just
Kendra.
fine. Don't worry about coming in halfway through the interview. I'm just teasing you, Kendra. You're fine. And replay crew is always welcome. Always welcome. So I just have to tease one of my favorite people. So but that's one thing that really drew me to your channel, was the fact that you're doing something that nobody else really is doing. You have something so unique and so it stands out, and you're not going to find that. You go to a craft show around here and you're not going to find 3D printed crochet. You're just not. And
well, and that's the one thing, is like some of my shows I can go in and there can be like 10 people with 3D printed stuff, but people will stop at my booth and they'll be like, wait. They're like, oh, it's another 3D printed. They're like, oh, wait, I've never seen anything like any of these. Everybody has the same stuff, but you don't. That type of thing. So, even though I do dabble in a lot of different stuff, it's not the same stuff.
Right.
That type of thing.
Right.
So, I like to be the weirdo, the weird one out.
There's nothing wrong with being outstanding in your field.
Right. Plus, I always like to tell people, even if you're starting something, and people ask me, because I talk to people all the time, and they're like, Well, everybody this year wants Deadpool, and I'm like, yeah, but do you really want to sit there and only make Deadpool? You know, you're gonna get tired. Just make
You
what you want to
do.
make. Just make a
You,
few of each thing. Because yeah, they all may want Deadpool after this one show is over, but nobody's gonna want it at any of your other shows, and you're only gonna have this thing left over. So just make what you want to make, you know?
absolutely.
Do what makes you happy because, you know, would you rather have a variety of items or just a bunch of the same items? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, when I was crocheting, let's see, Kendra says you should make some labyrinth things.
Oh, yes. You know, I have big lists of stuff, so I'm actually starting to make a little of each of the lists. So they are on the list.
When I was crocheting, one thing that people were drawn to me for was the fact that I work with thread more
Oh,
than I
yes.
do yarn.
Yes.
Um, because I actually enjoy working with thread. And for those who don't know, thread is the little tiny skinny stuff that's almost like the thread you use to sew fabric with.
Right.
It's not the big thick stuff that you crochet hats and blankets and uh, pot holders and scarves with. Thread
Exactly.
is what you make doilies and tablecloths and bookmarkers and things with.
Sorry.
You're fine. Hajways, welcome in. So glad you're here. But I did. I made doilies, and I made one tablecloth for somebody, and I made a lot of bookmarks
Yes.
and things like that. And I know now I didn't charge near enough for my tablecloth, but I made enough to get me to Missouri and back to see Logan, my husband,
Yeah.
when he was still living there before he moved here to be with me. And that was my goal. I wasn't out to price gouge anybody. I just wanted enough money to get me there and back, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I learned a lot. Um, but to have something that you thoroughly enjoy and to work on something that you're going to enjoy working on, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to stick with it.
Yep.
You're not going to enjoy it. It's going to take you twice as long to make it.
Yes.
And yeah.
No, I agree. And you know, that's the same thing is that if you're doing shows and you're treating it like a job, then it's not the right attitude. You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta enjoy it. You gotta talk to the people walking by. You gotta, you know, engage people with a smile. I tend to give when people want to buy more than a few items, I tend to give lots of discounts. And I know a lot of people don't, but I get happy when people get happier and want to add more stuff. And I tend to give them like little discounts and stuff. I like karma, you know. Oh, I believe in karma. So
I believe
I
in myself.
yes. So I do enjoy the interaction with the people, and I try not to do more than one show in a month because of you know the fibro and stuff, and I don't want to push myself too far. But I had a show this last weekend, and then the weekend before, so I'm a little tired, but it was worth it because it was a great interaction for me to get out and you know talk with people. And I had a lot of people who knew I would be there, so they come just to, you know, see what new things I brought or, you know, see if I still had something, or, you know, just to
Mm-hmm.
talk to me and say hi. So I did want to show you, I'm almost done with my dragon finally.
Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous.
Yeah, this is my first love is cross stitch. And there's a story
Okay.
behind it, because my great grandfather was he's the one who was our original craft fair goer in our family. And he used to do cross stitch and plastic canvas. He used to build doll houses and do all kinds of fun stuff with that. So my mom was also a cross stitcher, and then when I was a kid, I would, you know, sneak some extra threads and make my own little things. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
I originally loved. But then, you know, for a while I couldn't do it because of, you know, neuropathy and stuff. So got back into crocheting, things like that. So, but cross stitch is my original love.
I enjoy embroidery when I
Yes.
can handle it. Due to an auto accident, I lost a lot of dexterity and use of my right arm, and I'm
Yeah.
right-handed.
Gotcha.
And so I have a hard time holding the needle to do hand sewing or
Have
crochet.
Have you tried those punch needles? I just got some. My grandma taught me how to use a Japanese punch needle when I was a teenager. Have you tried those?
No, I
It's
haven't.
it's kind of like, I don't know if I have it near me. Looks kind of like a big marker, and you put the thread through it, and you use like an embroidery hoop, and you just punch it up and down, and you make the same embroidery designs, but you don't have to actually go through.
Huh.
So you might be able to use that easier than a needle.
Okay. I'll have to keep that in
Mm-hmm.
mind.
Yeah, look at some videos.
Yeah.
I'm a
I'll
problem
have to
solver.
Yeah,
So, but yeah,
very interesting.
a lot of
So,
fun.
if somebody comes to your channel,
Mhm.
what will they find?
So I tend to like, I get into trends. So I've been doing a lot of crochet lately, but sometimes I might want to sew some bags, or like I said, I'm working on another amalgamation that I've been doing where I'm incorporating a lot of fabric into my crochet dolls, which is actually
Ooh,
went over really well. I made a bunch of bats where I added fabric in and people loved them. So I'm going to be
okay.
doing that some more. And that's one of them that I checked everywhere first to make sure nobody else was doing anything like it. And I didn't see anything anywhere. So, and I sold all of them. So everybody gave me very good feedback. So I'm going to start doing more items and try different things with them. But I make like, you know, I do things with fabric. I do jewelry. I did get back into my jewelry. I wrap crystals. I mean, I like to do a lot of everything. You know what I mean? And I like to jump back and forth so that it switches it up and keeps it new. And so I don't get bored. You know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
I can keep my ideas flowing and my ideas fresh. And I did get some more of my embroidery punch needle kits so that I can try that out again, because I haven't done it since I was a teenager, you know. So that was a lot of fun. So I want to try that out. So I mean, I just like to dabble, and I find that when I'm trying a different craft, it unlocks ideas for other things in my brain. And then it gives me like the inspiration to add into things I currently do. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Okay.
it's a lot of
Very,
fun.
very
So
cool. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
one day I could crochet, and then one day I could be, you know, working with fabric, or you know.
so now um do you premiere videos? Do you go live?
I mainly go live. I'm gonna start premiering more videos. I did a collaboration with Paranormal Poet where he sent me one of his spooky stories, and then I created a spooky character based on what I thought story, read to me, and I thought that was really fun. So we're going to try to do that once a month. And then I'm also going to try to premiere a video. I don't know if it'll be every week or every other week, of one of my original designs, and put the pattern on the screen as I premiere it, so people can also make it if they so choose to. And I think that would be something fun to interact people with me. And then I thought it would be neat that they can send me the pictures on Discord, and I can make a short with everybody's little creation of the whatever it is.
Right.
And then we can build a little yarny community. Everybody can engage and have that connection. That would be fun.
So what days do you go live?
So I try to go live. I mean, it really depends, but usually Saturdays through I think it's Wednesday I tend to go live, but it really depends on how I'm feeling.
Okay,
I don't
so
have a
you don't
set
have
schedule.
You don't have a set schedule, just you aim for Saturday through Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a set schedule going. So if anything, I think I'm going to try to do it every other day type of thing, so that I don't burn myself out. Yeah. I think that's a good goal.
Yeah. I will say, when you have a set schedule, it really, really does help. It lets people know that they can count on you being there, and it also lets you prepare yourself. Okay, I'm going to have to rest extra so that I'm ready to go for this specific time, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
It does help to have it scheduled. And you can also add, I keep running out of time and forgetting to do the video that I've been wanting to make. But there is a web page that you can add your live stream schedule to, so that people can go to this website and look and find their favorite channels, and know when they're going live. And a lot of people will rearrange their schedule to fit their favorite channel's schedule.
That's pretty
so
cool.
that they're able to be there. And the website is called Web's Web. That's not the web address, but that's the page name, is Web's Web. I need to get that done. At least posted in my community page tab again. But you just go in there and you send him all your information of when you're going live. And if you have it a scheduled live, and it's going to be consistent, like mine, every Monday at 1 p.m. Of course, his is all posted in Eastern time, but at 1 p.m. Mountain, I go live on Mondays. And it's scheduled on his page. People can go there and they can say, I want to know when Lewis Acre Farm goes live. Look up my name. Oh, okay, she goes live on, yep, there I am talking about you. Imagine that. I'm talking about you and you show up. They can go and look on the page and see, oh, there she is. She goes live on Mondays at 1 p.m. or, well, it'd be 3 p.m. Eastern every Monday with Meet Me Monday. I need to go and add my Talk About It Tuesday. I haven't done that yet. But when I do, then they would also see Talk About It Tuesday on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. And they would know that those are the 2 days that I go live.
Right.
And it's every Monday every Tuesday. Those are the days that I go live. And they'll see every channel that has contacted him and given him the information. And it's just really an amazing service, and it's free. He
That's
does
very
that.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to get that video done that I was wanting to do. There, Ronson has posted the link.
Oh, thank you. Look at that little
So,
tail.
I think somebody's happy.
Hi, kitty.
So when you do decide on a schedule and you're going to be consistent with it, you can email him with that schedule,
Oh, very
and
cool.
he'll put your channel up there for people to find.
Awesome.
And that's open for anybody.
Very cool. Jason, take notes. He's my Ronson.
Isn't that awesome to have a Ronson?
Right.
So
very awesome.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about your channel? What are your future plans to do with your channel? Or
well, I'm thinking that my plans are to just, I wanted to be able to release my patterns for crochet, and I want to be able to release the files for my 3D prints that I'm designing as well. So a lot of times what people do is they either sell the patterns on like Etsy, or you know, the 3D prints, you can download the digital files on Etsy and stuff like that. I want to be able to make it to where I don't have to do it on so many different places, you know. So I think I want to be able to showcase them on YouTube and only go to one place and you can get them all there. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to show them and maybe do videos of them so everybody can see them, and then just go to like maybe a Patreon or something and you can just get them all there. So
I was going to suggest making it available at a different location.
right.
YouTube takes a sizable chunk.
Yeah.
I know Buy Me a Coffee takes 5%.
Right.
Which is a whole lot better than 30.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I do have a Buy Me a Coffee account if anybody is interested in helping to support my cat rescue.
Yay.
Anything that comes in on that account goes straight to the spay and neuter of the 10 cats and the 3 litters of kittens that are on their way, as well as feeding, but right now primarily towards spay and neuter, so that I can get them adopted out.
Aww. Yeah.
So, just throwing that out there real quick. That's all I'll say about that. But that link is available on my About page. So that's exciting. That's exciting that you're going to be able to make that available to people in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I figure, you know, as it goes, you know, I do have lasting neuropathy, so I can't do as much as I used to do. So I'd rather, you know, switch it to the side where I can make one and then share that pattern with people and they can make more. And then at least seeing it out there would make me happy and give me as much joy as being able to make it all myself.
Right.
So, you know,
it really is about sharing the joy.
Right. You know, so it is. And, you know, I'd rather be walking one day in a market and maybe like, oh my gosh, that's my pattern. I'm so happy. You know, I could turn into one of the people that make me so happy when they get excited. So
yeah,
that's all it's about, you know, enjoying life. And
well, before we open it up for questions, is there anything else that you would like to share about yourself, your channel, anything at all?
Just just that everybody just finds the positive in every day and try to find things and do things that make you happy and make it worth, being alive for, whether it be, cooking or hiking or exercising or little crafts or collecting rocks, whatever it is. Just even if you think you're weird, be the best little weirdo you can be, just
I
anything,
love it. I love it. Be the best little weirdo you can be. I like that.
Exactly, right? Because
Yeah.
you're the one who's got to be happy with who you are. So
Okay. Well, at this point, I'll just open up for questions. If anybody has any questions, I know we have one. Let me back it up and just check if there were any others up higher.
still got a little Elvis lip. It's almost gone.
um, Ronson, if you see any questions that I've missed higher up in the chat, if you could help me find those, that would be great. Let's start with Alfonso. By the way, Alfonso, I'm sorry if I missed saying hello to you earlier. Alfonso would like to know, I have some STL files with Braille. I would like to get 3D printed. How much do you charge?
Ooh.
I think that's kind of a question that would be better off to email on price.
Right.
But is that something that you would even be interested or able to do for somebody if they have files needing to be printed?
It really depends, because it depends on like filament, because then you'd have to, get the filament and, what are they actually looking for. So there's, it's like a multi-layer type thing and, shipping. So,
Right.
yeah, that is because it's a multi-layer question. You can email me at CraftyWitch232 at gmail.com. And then maybe I can see if I can answer that for you.
Gotta be in the comment block in order to type. Okay, CraftyWitch232 at gmail.com. Okay.
Yeah, if you email me, I should be able to. Yeah, I have a 256 by 256 printer, so I'm not sure how big you're looking. So email me what you're looking for and like just whatever you're wanting it to be and what color, etc. And then I can try to give you what a pricing looks like.
Okay. He mentions something about free matter for the blind would save postage. I don't know anything about that. But Alfonso, that would be something for you to converse with her in email. I've posted that email in the chat for you. And yeah. So you two can converse in private.
Yes.
In email, and that would be ideal. Does anybody else have any questions for Andy in chat? How did you get interested in doing 3D printing?
So my friend, I call her Jersey because she's from New Jersey, so I call her the Jersey Devil because she likes the New Jersey Devils and we don't. But she was into 3D printing too, and then so I got into 3D printing through her because she was printing something for me for one of my stuffed animals, and I realized I could print like all the accents and stuff I needed for my plushies through 3D printing, and then it took it off from there and turned into a weird obsession. So that kind of what happens when you get into a new craft.
Right.
So it was about a year and a half ago now. So
Okay.
yeah.
So if somebody sent you a picture of their favorite pet, would you be able to 3D print a plushy version of their favorite pet?
Not necessarily a plushy version. You'd have a better chance of printing like maybe what's it called? Oh my goodness. Like a actual photo in like different layers.
Uh-huh.
You could make like an actual dog 3D printed plushy version, but there wouldn't be as much detail as
Right.
say like a lithothane type photo. You know what I mean? Jason. Maybe. Guilty. I do also have a few booths at an indoor flea market that I sell to. But hey, that is one thing. When my grandma, I was her caregiver, and then when she passed, she didn't want me to go back to being in retail management. She wanted, because I was her hospice caregiver at the end, she wanted me to do my crafting full time. So I promised her I would try. So it kind of took off from there because I was only doing it part time at that time.
Right.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
So what does one of your little plushies typically, just a price range, what do they typically run at a craft fair?
So if I make one of my miniatures, they're about $10. And I don't know if anybody saw like the Coraline I did. That one was 50. So that one was about like 14 inches.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was fairly big.
Yeah.
And then my little ones, they're about like 4 to 5 inches, but they're really cute.
Yeah.
They got a lot of detail in them.
Well, that's
Sometimes
not
they,
small.
yeah, they get lots of love and sometimes little charms. So the charms usually cost more than the other stuff. So, but I do 3D print a lot of the stuff now for them. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah. Sometimes I do little $5 plushies that are just little fun baubles is what I call them. They're like little squishies.
Uh-huh.
So that's a lot of fun too. Or a little octopus or a jellyfish. I love jellyfish.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, now you've mentioned at the beginning that you started with TikTok.
Yes.
What social medias are you on?
So my main business page is actually on Facebook, and that's been on there for, I don't know, like 13, 14 years or something like that. I have an Instagram and a TikTok. I don't get on them all very often. I usually do the YouTube only now, but I'm going to try to promise to post on all of them simultaneously because I tried to link them all together. I'm just not very savvy with them. So I try to do it when I can, but I'll try to be better. That's all I can promise.
Well, you do what you can. Maybe start with one and then slowly add another one as you
Yes.
learn, might be the better way to do it.
Exactly. So I'll at least promise to use my Facebook because that's my main one.
Okay. We have another question from Alfonso. What is the difference between PLA, PETG, and resin filament?
PLA is your basic like plastic. The PETG is more of like your food safe. So a lot of people use that for like kitchen type wares, cookie cutters, things like that. The resin stuff is better for detail, and it's a different type of printer that would use that altogether. That's about it. Yeah. So they use those more for like mini models, like very tiny details, stuff like that.
Okay.
There's one thing I will say, I'm full of a lot of useless knowledge, and sometimes it doesn't come out right away because I get the brain fog and stuff, but sometimes it'll just spew out and I can like give you facts and I don't know where it came from. So
Alfonso would like to know which is better for Braille.
I think that you would be fine with the PLA. Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you have a good quality printer, you're good.
Does anyone else in chat have any questions? This is really fascinating. I find it so interesting that you've combined the two crafts and
Right.
turned them into something so special and so unique. And you can really put your own stamp on your project and make them truly unique and your own.
Right. And then the other thing I like is that it's come a long way with the designing. So I'm learning more of the 3D design, and you can put different textures on your models now. So I mean, you're like, what else can I put on there? So when I'm doing something new, I'm very critical of myself. So I don't like to put things out there if I don't think they're perfect. And everybody, even Jason's always on me about it. And I'm like, no, it's not, I don't like it. And they're like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, no, I don't like it. So I want to try some other style textures too and see what works. So
Right.
I'm learning some different stuff. So there is one that I'm going to try is I want to do like a cross stitch style one.
I was just thinking quilted.
Yeah, a quilted style one would be very good too. So, and that's the one thing is I need to finish them, but for a while I was making quilted horror bags that were really cool as well. So I need to get more into, I need to break them up better and maybe make a schedule for like maybe this week I only work on this. This week I work on this. So we'll see. It depends on what shows. I only have one more show in April, and then I get a few months to really, work on gardening and making stuff for my end of the year shows. So,
right.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the Survival Seeds collaboration? Oh, I don't know what kind of gardening you do, but it's something you might be interested in trying. It's through the VC Family Homestead. And what it is you create a video, an entry video, and they will send you the seeds that you're to use for the collaboration. And there are, based on your location, the onions that you'll plant. There are kidney beans, Detroit red beets, sugar pie pumpkins.
Sorry.
Oh gosh, I've forgotten the other two, but there's 6 different seeds. They send them to you for free. And you have the option of adding a 7th seed for the collaboration. There's also an herbal side that you can choose to do, and it's hyssop, oregano, and lemon balm. And you just do an entry video for each side, and you submit the form, and they'll send you the seeds. You plant them. and you document your growing.
Oh, cool.
And at the end of the season, you do your final video for October. And in October, around the middle of October, they do an enormous giveaway. They have every Sunday evening, they have a live video or a live stream where they have different people come on and they talk to us about different aspects of gardening. Like yesterday, they had a guy on there that was talking about mushrooms and fertilizers and things like that. And sometimes they'll talk about canning. They'll talk about different things every time. They have a prize wheel you can win just by chatting or commenting on the videos. You can be in the chat and win, or you can be a collaborator and win. In October, they have an enormous, enormous giveaway. And it's just a lot of fun learning from other people, trying to grow these different things and see how it works. And for you, and just being a part of this community. And the purpose of it is to see how they grow, saving the seeds, and it's called Survival Seeds 2025.
Okay, that sounds really fun. I'm going to definitely look into that.
Yeah.
I usually grow lots of hot peppers for my husband because
peppers was one of them. Is Cali Wonder peppers is one of the peppers, or one of those.
Okay. Yeah, I just have the Carolina Reapers and the Scorpions and Ghost Peppers all just sprouted, so he's very excited. He likes the super hots. I started them in February so that they would sprout this year. So he likes them very hot. And then lots of tomatoes, and I love squash, pumpkins.
The other one was the Roma tomato. That's the one I was forgetting. So those are the seeds that they will send you.
Okay.
And they're from Rainbow Seed out of Canada.
Nice.
And so anyway, but yeah, it's really an awesome collaboration.
Oh, well, I'll definitely look into it because I'm getting better. This will be my 4th year really gardening, because before I always thought I didn't have a green thumb, but I think it's because I worked so much that I never had time. But I'm a Taurus, so I'm an earth sign, so I should be good at gardening, but once I actually tried, it's flourished. So I'm like, I can do this. So
yeah, I think almost anybody can grow if they just put a little effort into it and try.
Right.
Just start small. If you're struggling, just start small. Start with something in a pot.
Exactly. And don't overwater it.
Yeah. Or underwater.
Yes, exactly. Oh, this is Coco. She usually hides. She's being a mama's girl right now.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
We have one more question from Alfonso.
Oh, okay.
What software do you use to design your 3D prints?
I use Blender, and it's a free download for your desktop. So you have to have a computer. So laptop or computer, and you can download it for free. And they do a lot of good tutorials on YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. He is an overwaterer, so he's not allowed to touch the plants. He has to go with me.
I have self-watering beds. So
nice.
Well, most of mine are self-watering. So I don't have to worry too much about watering. It's really, really nice. A little bit expensive to get started, but perfect once you get started on it. Once you have them built, they pay for themselves in the time and the energy and the lost plants and
right. I will tell you, I got one of those mini hydroponic watering systems for lettuces and kale and spinach, and we've already harvested twice 2 full sets of lettuce from
Wow,
it, and it's only been a little over a month. It's
that's
insane.
awesome.
It's very good, and I mean, I can't. It's very crisp, very delicious. I'm trying to remember. I put 3 different types of lettuce in there, and it's perfect. And the kale I've harvested once. For some reason, the spinach is taking a little while to grow, but usually spinach does. So,
I had some Landis winter lettuce
yeah.
in one of my raised beds, and it came on strong during the winter, and we had a really hard freeze. We were in an inversion situation, and it got super, super cold for several days in a row, and it finally died back. And I went out there here the other day, and that same lettuce is back and
Oh,
growing.
nice.
It never killed the plants.
Good.
It just took the leaves out, didn't kill the
Nice.
roots. So I already have lettuce growing, and I never planted it this
Yay.
year. So far, I haven't gotten out there to do my planting in the beds yet for the direct seed.
Right. Well, I will tell you, it was like 60 today, and it's supposed to be like 72 tomorrow. So I'll probably be out in the garden tomorrow, cleaning it up, because my grandma's tiger lilies are starting to get ready to bloom again. So I got to get them ready because they don't last long, but they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
need to
best
get out
time.
there and get some seeds in the ground, but I know we've also got some pretty cold overnight temperatures still. Our last frost isn't until May 9th.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. It's about the same, but I'm gonna repot the tomato seedlings because it's time for them, and then get my other seedlings started. I'm getting excited.
me
So
too.
excited.
Me
Yes.
too. I can't hardly wait.
Yes.
So,
And there's nothing like growing your own food. I mean, there's really nothing like it.
yeah. Yeah. I don't like winter because I can't have my fingers in the soil.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and being able to touch the dirt is, I mean, it's just something completely different. The feel of it, it really gives you a different kind of energy. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
it's peaceful.
Yeah. I
Well,
agree.
anyway,
Yes.
well, I don't see any other questions uh, popping in. So,
Let me see the video.
with that, I want to thank you so very much for being here. And I want to thank
Thank
chat for
you.
being here, and those who choose to stay in the background. You are so important to us. We appreciate you being here. And those who choose to come in later and watch the replay, you are so important. We really do appreciate the replay crew. You're
Yes.
vital to the success of these interviews. We appreciate you being here. And if you can just share it out, help get Andy's name and her channel out there and continue to help her grow. Just that would be awesome. And
Yes.
if anybody out there has a channel that you have content and you would like an opportunity to have an interview here on my channel, I would invite you to fill out the interview request form on the About section of my channel. I will take a look at your channel and get back to you. We'll see what we can do for you. Or if you know of a channel that would be a good candidate for an interview, then have them fill out that request form. And let's get them on the calendar, see what we can do about doing an interview for them. These interviews are my way of giving back to the community to help and promote other channels. It's not about me, has nothing to do with me. It's about giving back. So, by all means, if you do have content on your channel and would like the opportunity to have an interview, please fill out that interview request form, and we will see what we can do about hooking you up with an interview. Andy, once again, thank you so much for being here. I have truly enjoyed getting to know you, learning more about your craft, and I'm enthralled by what you do, and I look forward to seeing more from you, watching your channel grow, learning a thing or two from you, because you're growing a lot faster than I have, and it's awesome to see.
Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed being here, and I'm glad I came to interview with you, and you definitely remind me so much of my grandmother. I love this so much because you have that soft-spoken voice like her, and I really was drawn to you, so I really appreciate you and everything you do for our little community here, and I am very happy I came on and did this interview. Thank you so much.
That's very special.
Sorry, I had to jinx you. But yes, thank you. And please, everybody, make sure that we're reaching out and subscribing and sharing all of our nice love and everything, and make sure everybody's, just doing things to make yourselves happy. That's what it's all about.
All right. And with that, I would like to remind you that tomorrow at 3 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Eastern, I will be here live with my co-host, Grayson Fire with Glenda. She is a hoot. She is so much fun to hang out with. We will be having our Taco About It Tuesday hangout. Who knows what kind of trouble we'll get into. And if you are one of the lucky ones that's here today, we have made a decision that once a month we will be doing a giveaway. You'll never know which Tuesday it will be. So if you want a chance to be in on the giveaway, you'll have to be at Taco About It Tuesday. Can't tell you which Wednesday or Tuesday it will be because we don't know. So you'll just have to be there to find out. So I will have your thought for Thursday on Thursday. The video is already recorded. I just have to get it edited. And it will be on time, premiering at 1 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. So I hope that you will be there for that. And next week, I have Warrior's Spear for my guest. And that one will be an interesting one. Very young channel. Very young. I believe he is sitting at 25 subscribers.
Ooh, nice.
So I do hope that you'll come and support him. He needs a little boost of confidence, a little boost of encouragement. So please do come next Monday and meet Warrior's Spear. With that, I wish you well. Have a wonderfully blessed week. And I will see you hopefully tomorrow for Talk About It Tuesday. Thank you for being here, everybody. Love you guys. Bye.